Who are you? Not your name, not your job, not your roles. Who are you actually? If I ask you that question, you'd probably tell me a story. I'm someone who struggles with money, or I'm an introvert. I'm not good at relationships. I'm creative, but not a business person. I'm someone who always self sabotages. And you believe that story. You think that's who you are, the truth about you. But it's not. It's just a frequency you've been tuned to for so long that you mistook it for identity. And now we are going to blow that illusion apart. Because who you think you are, that's not who you actually are. Just the track you're on, the identity you're broadcasting. And you can change it completely today. Not through years of therapy, not through force of willpower, through understanding what identity actually is, and then shifting the frequency. Stay with me. This is going to shake your entire reality. For a long time, I was someone who can't finish things. That was my identity, my truth, the story everyone knew about me, including me. I start projects with massive enthusiasm, new business idea, creative projects, fitness plan. Doesn't matter. First week, on fire, obsessed. This is it. This is the thing. Second week, still good, momentum. Third week, interest fading. Week 4, new shining thing appears. All project abandoned. I had 37 unfinished projects at one point. I counted them. Half written books, started businesses with unused domain names. Certifications I paid for and never completed. Apps downloaded and abandoned, gym memberships unused. And every time I started something new, there was this voice. You won't finish this either. You never do. That's just who you are. And I believe it. I'm someone who can't finish things. That wasn't just a belief, that was my identity. Who I was, who I believe I was at the core level. And here is what I didn't understand then. That identity wasn't truth. It wasn't hardwired into my DNA. It wasn't who I actually was. It was a frequency that I was broadcasting, a track I was on, a story I was telling that became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Every time I said, I'm someone who can't finish things, I reinforced that frequency. Every time I've abandoned the project, I confirmed the identity. Every time someone said, yeah, you're always starting new things, I anchored deeper into that track. The identity became a prison, not because it was true, because I believed it was true. And belief is frequency. Frequency is broadcast. Broadcast is reality. I was literally creating the experience of being someone who can't finish things by identifying as that person. Until I realized that's not who I am. That's just what I've been practicing being. And I can practice being someone else. Okay, so what is identity actually? Most people think identity is fixed. It's who you are, your personality, your nature, your essence. I'm just an anxious person. I'm not a morning person. I'm bad with money. I'm shy. As if these things are genetic, permanent, unchangeable. But they are not. Identity is just a frequency you've been broadcasting for so long that it feels like truth. Let me break this down. Identity is consistent frequency. Every thought you think repeatedly becomes a belief. Every belief you hold becomes part of your identity. Every identity you claim becomes your broadcast. Every broadcast you send out becomes your reality. So, if you consistently think, I'm not good with money, that becomes a belief. Money and I don't mix. That's just how it is. That becomes an identity. I'm a broke person. That's who I am. That becomes a broadcast, sending out scarcity frequency. That becomes your reality. Always struggling financially, no matter how much you make. The identity isn't causing the reality, the frequency is. And the identity is just a label you put on a pattern of thought. And here's the mind-blowing part. There are infinite versions of you existing right now in the space of all possibilities. There is a version of you who's wildly successful with money. There is a version of you who's confident and charismatic. There is a version of you who finishes everything they start, and there is a version of you who's incredible, healthy in a physical shape. There is a version of you who has easy, healthy relationships. These aren't future versions, these aren't fantasies. These are actually frequencies that exist right now. And the only difference between the you that experienced this reality and the you on the other tracks, the frequency you're broadcasting, the identity you're claiming. The identity you claim is the track you're on. When you say, I am X, you're not describing truth, you're choosing a frequency. I am someone who struggles with anxiety. That is tuning to the anxiety track. I am someone who's always calm and grounded. That's tuning to the peace track. Same consciousness, different frequency, different reality, different identity. Your identity isn't fixed. It's a radio station you're tuned to. And you've been on the same station for so long that you forgot the dial exists. So, how does an identity perpetuate itself? How does it keep you trapped on the same track? Let me show you the loop. This is the identity loop. Step 1, you claim an identity. I am someone who's bad at public speaking. Step 2, that identity filters your perception. You notice every time you stumble. You don't notice when you do well. You interpret neutral responses as negative. Step 3, that filtered perception reinforces the belief. See, I knew I was bad at this. That's just who I am. Step 4, that belief drives your behavior. You avoid speaking opportunities, you don't practice, you stay small. Step 5, that behavior creates results that confirm the identity. When you do speak, you're unprepared and nervous because you haven't practiced. Step 6, those results strengthen the identity. Yup, I'm not good at public speaking. That's just me. And the loop continues forever, getting stronger each cycle. The identity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, not because it's true, because you're broadcasting it and reality is responding. Another example, I'm not a relationship person. You claim this identity because past relationships failed. That identity makes you notice red flags in everyone, makes you interpret connections as threat, makes you pull away when things get good, which obviously creates relationships to fail, which confirms, see, I'm not a relationship person. But it's not that you're not a relationship person. It's that you're broadcasting the frequency of someone who isn't. And that frequency creates experiences that match. And this is the terrifying part. You will always find evidence for whatever identity you claim. If you identify as unlucky, you'll notice each unlucky thing and ignore every lucky thing. If you identify as someone people take advantage of, you'll attract the takers and not notice the givers. If you identify as someone who never succeeds, you'll unconsciously sabotage success to maintain identity coherence. Your brain will literally distort reality to match your identity, not because you're broken, because identity is frequency, and frequency determines which reality you experience. Now, here's the thing most people don't realize. Most of your identity wasn't consciously chosen. It was absorbed, programmed. Let me show you where identity actually comes from. One source is family programming. You absorbed your family's identity templates. If your dad identified as someone who works hard but never gets ahead, guess what frequency you absorbed? If your mom identified as someone who sacrifices everything for others, that becomes a template, not because you choose it, because you were exposed to that frequency for so long. Another source is early experiences. Something happened when you were 7 or before. You tried to think and someone laughed. Your child brain created an identity. I'm not a singer. I'm someone who can perform. And you've been broadcasting that frequency for years, for decades. Over one moment, one experience, one interpretation. Another source is cultural programming, massive collective beliefs about identity. Introverts are like this, extroverts are like that. Creative people aren't good with money. You can't be spiritual and wealthy. Smart people struggle socially. These aren't truths, they are collective frequencies, and you tuned into whichever one matched your programming. Another source is repeated experiences. You failed at something 3 times. Your brain said, "Oh, so this is who we are, someone who fails at this." You succeeded at something twice, and your brain said, "This is our thing, this is our identity." And now, years later, you're living inside an identity that you never consciously chose. You're broadcasting a frequency that was installed by other people, by random experiences, by collective programming, and you think that's who you are. But it's not. It never was. You're not your programming. You're not your history. You're not your family's patterns. You are the consciousness that can choose which frequency to broadcast. And that means you can choose a different identity right now. Okay, so if identity is just frequency, then who are you actually? This is where it gets profound. There's identity, the mask, the broadcast, the track you're on. And there's essence, the consciousness underneath all of that. Your essence is the awareness that's been with you your entire life. The you that was aware at age 5 is the same you that's aware right now. That hasn't changed. Your body changed. Your thoughts changed. Your beliefs changed. Your identity changed. But the awareness, the consciousness, experience it, all of this, that's constant. That's your essence. And your essence has no fixed identity. It's pure potential, pure possibility, pure consciousness. It can broadcast any frequency. It can embody any identity. It can experience any reality. You are not the anxious person. You're the consciousness that's experiencing anxiety on one track. You're not the broke person. You're the consciousness experiencing scarcity on one frequency. You're not the wounded person. You're the consciousness experiencing that wound on this particular timeline. The real you, your essence, it's unlimited. It's not confined to any identity, any track, any frequency. The identities you've been claiming, they're costumes, roles, frequencies you've been practicing, but they are not you. Which means you can take them off now. You can step into different frequencies. You can broadcast different identities, not as pretending, as remembering your actual nature. You're not a fixed being having different experiences. You're infinite consciousness choosing different frequencies. And identity is just the label you put on the frequency you're currently broadcasting. When you truly get this, when you feel it in your bones, everything changes. Because you stop being trapped by identity. You stop thinking, this is just who I am. You start knowing, this is just the frequencies I've been on. And I can change frequencies. Okay, so how do you actually change your identity? How do you shift to a different frequency? Not through affirmations that feel fake, not through pretending, through actual frequency shift. Here are the steps. Step 1. See your current identity as frequency, not truth. Whatever identity you're trapped in, name it clearly. I am someone who. And then add the crucial phrase, on this frequency. So for example, I'm someone who struggles with money on this frequency. I'm someone who's socially awkward on this frequency, and so on. That small addition changes everything. It's no longer truth. It's no longer permanent. It's just the current broadcast. And broadcasts can change. Step 2. Identify the identity you're choosing. Who do you want to be? Not in a fantasy sense, in a frequency sense. What version of you exists on a different track? Someone who has an easy, natural relationship with money. Someone who's confident and magnetic in situations, all of them socially. Someone who finishes what they start. Don't pick an identity that feels impossibly far away. Pick one that feels like a different frequency of you. Not billionaire if you're currently broke, but someone money flows to easily. Not globally famous speaker if you're shy, but someone comfortable being seen. Step 3. Stop reinforcing the old identity. This is crucial. Every time you say, I'm just not good at X, you vote for that identity. Every time you tell the story of who you are based on your past, you anchor into that frequency. Stop telling that story. Stop identifying with your limitations. Stop claiming the frequency you're trying to live, even casually, even as a joke. Your words are broadcasts, and every broadcast reinforces the frequency. Step 4. Practice the new identity in small movements. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just have to make small choices from the new frequency. If you're shifting from someone who's always late to someone who's punctual, don't try to be perfect. Just show up one time. then twice. Then notice, oh, I'm someone who can be on time. And that small shift starts changing the frequency. If you're shifting from someone who's broke to someone who's abundant, this is how it goes. Don't force big financial changes. Just tip generously once. Buy something of good quality instead of cheap. And notice, I can make abundant choices. Small choices from new frequency, repeat it until the new frequency becomes a default. Step 5. Embody the frequency before the evidence arrives. This is where most people mess up. They wait for external proof before claiming the new identity. I'll identify as successful when I make X amount. I'll identify as confident when people start responding to me differently. That's backwards. The frequency comes first, the evidence follows. You have to embody the identity before reality reflects it back. This is the jump, the leap, the moment of faith. You claim the new frequency while still on the old track. And that claiming is what shifts you. I'm someone money flows to easily. Not when you have evidence, now, while you're still broke, because claiming it is the shift. I'm someone who's confident and magnetic. Not when you feel it, now, while you're still nervous, because embodying it creates the feeling. It feels like lying at first, like pretending. But it's not. You're not lying. You're tuning to a frequency where that identity is true. And the more you broadcast it, the more reality rearranges to match. Step 6. Use the activation to reprogram at subconscious level. Understanding this intellectually helps, but the deep shift, the one that rewires your nervous system and changes your default broadcast, that happens subconsciously. That's where the activation is. The activation bypasses the conscious mind and reprograms the frequency at the level where identity actually lives, the subconscious. Everything that we've been doing so far, that's the framework. That's the understanding. Now we're going to do the actual shift. We're going into a deep identity reprogramming activation. We're going to release you from your old identity completely. Dissolve the frequency that's been keeping you trapped. Tune you into the version of you on a different track. Anchor that new identity at the subconscious level. Make it your new default broadcast. This isn't visualization. This isn't pretending. This is actual frequency shift. Identity, death, and rebirth. So go ahead, get comfortable, and lay down if possible. Headphones would be nice. This is deep work. is going to feel significant. You might experience emotions. Let them move through. You're not going to be the same person on the other side of this. Ready? Let's dissolve who you think you are and remember who you actually are. Close your eyes and take a moment to adjust anything that needs to be adjusted. And let your body settle completely. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and release it with a sigh. Another breath, deeper this time. Feeling your whole system beginning to slow down, soften, open. Good. Right now, we're going to do something that most people never do in their entire lives. We're going to dissolve an identity completely and birth a new one. Not through force, through allowing, through release, through remembering what's true underneath all the programming. I want you to become aware of the identity you've been carrying, the I am statements that have defined you. I am someone who. Don't judge them, don't push them away, just notice them. These identities have felt so real, so true, so permanent. But I want you to see something. They are not you. They never were. They are just frequencies you tuned into, broadcasts you practice, tracks you've been on. Imagine that each identity is like a costume, a mask, a role you've been playing. You've been wearing these costumes so long, you forgot they were removable. You thought they were your skin, but they're not. They're just clothing. And clothing can be changed. See all these identity costumes you've been wearing. Perhaps the anxious one, or the broke one, or the wounded one, the shy one, the stuck one. Whatever identities have been ruining and running your life. See them now as separate from you. Costumes, masks, frequencies. You are not these identities. You are the consciousness wearing them. And you're about to take them off. Now, I want you to choose an identity that's been limiting you, the main one. Maybe it's I'm someone who always struggles, or I'm someone who can't succeed, or I'm someone who's broken. Whatever it is, bring it into your awareness now. This identity has been with you for a long time, maybe your whole life. It's been trying to protect you in some way, trying to keep you safe from disappointment, from risk, from being seen. Take a moment to acknowledge it and say thank you. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I release you now. And now we're going to let it dissipate. Release it with love. Imagine this identity as a form, an energy, a structure inside you. Maybe it's in your chest or your stomach or your throat, wherever you feel it most. So go ahead and take a breath into where this identity lives in your body. And as you exhale, imagine it begins to dissolve, like ice melting, like smoke dissipating, like a structure that's held together for years finally being allowed to come apart. Breathe in and breathe out this identity with love, letting it dissolve. Again, breathe in light to where this identity has been living. And breathe out, watching it break apart, pieces falling away, dissolving into nothing. It's been holding you in a very specific frequency, a very specific reality, a very specific track. And you're releasing it now. It doesn't own you anymore. It never did. Again, deeper breath into the core of this old identity. And exhale, letting it completely dissolve, watching it turn to light, to particles, to nothing. Feel the space that's opening up, the emptiness where that identity used to be. This is the space of pure potential, pure consciousness, your actual essence. You are not the identity. You never were. You are the awareness that can hold any identity, any frequency, any experience. And right now, you are free, undefined, open, pure possibility. In this space of no identity, I want you to remember something: who you actually are. Not the roles, not the stories, not the programming, but the consciousness that's been aware your entire life. The you that was aware at age 5 is the same you that's aware now. Your body has completely changed. Every cell replaced multiple times. Your thoughts are different, your beliefs are different. But the awareness, the consciousness experiencing it all, that hasn't changed. That's constant. That's your essence. And your essence has no fixed identity. It's not limited, it's not broken, it's not stuck, it's infinite. It's pure potential. It's the field of all possibilities. Every version of you that could ever exist exists in your essence. The confident you, the abundant you, the healed you, the powerful you. They are not future versions. They are frequencies within you right now. You are not limited. You're not a limited being trying to become unlimited. You are unlimited consciousness that has been practicing limitation. You are not wounded trying to heal. You are the wholeness that's been experiencing a wound on one particular frequency. You are not stuck trying to get unstuck. You are freedom that's been tuned to a stuck frequency. Feel into the truth of this. Underneath all the identities, all the stories, all the frequencies you've practiced, you are pure consciousness, unbound, free. And from this place, you can choose any identity, any frequency, any reality, not as pretending, as truth, because all of it exists within you already. Now, from this place of pure essence, I want you to call forward the identity you're choosing. Not the old one, not the limitation. The you that exists on a different frequency, a different track. Who is that version of you? What do they identify as? Maybe it's I'm someone money flows to naturally and easily. Or I am someone who's confident, magnetic, and comfortable being seen. Or I'm someone who finishes what they start and creates powerful results. Or I'm someone who is healed, whole, and deeply at peace. Whatever it is, let that identity emerge from the field of all possibilities. Don't force it. Let it arise. Let it call to you. Good, very good. Now, I want you to see this identity as a frequency, as an energetic signature. It has a feeling, a vibration, an essence. This version of you, this identity, they are not striving. They are not trying to become. They already are on their frequency. This identity is truth. It's reality. It's just who they are. And now, I want you to step into this frequency. Imagine there is a version of you standing in front of you. This is them, this new identity embodied. See how they stand, how they move, the energy they carry. They are not burdened by the old story. They don't carry the old identity. They are free. They are powerful. They are embodied in this new frequency. Take a moment and observe them. And now, step forward and merge with them. Let your consciousness occupy their form, their frequency, their reality. This isn't visualization. This is actually frequency merging. You are not imagining being this person. You are tuning to the frequency where you are this person. Feel how different this frequency is. The old identity felt heavy, constrained, and limited. This new identity feels expansive, light, true. It's not that you're becoming something you're not. It's that you are remembering something you've always been underneath the programming. Now, I want you to anchor this new identity into your entire system. from this new frequency, I want you to feel into your body. How does your body feel when this is your identity? More relaxed, more confident, more alive. Let this frequency touch every cell, every nerve, every fiber. Your body is learning. This is who we are now. Now feel into your emotions from this new identity. What emotions are natural when this is who you are? Maybe confidence, peace, maybe excitement, calm power. Whatever emotions match this frequency, let them arise and fill your emotional body. Your emotions are learning. This is our new baseline. Now, feel into your thoughts from this new identity. What thoughts are natural when this is who you are? Notice how different they are from the old identity's thoughts. The old identity thought, I can't, I'm never, I'm not, never. This new identity thinks, I am, I do, I create. Let these new thoughts establish themselves. Your mind is learning. This is how we think now. Now, feel into your energy, your broadcast from this identity. What are you radiating out into the world? The old identity broadcasts lack, fear, limitation, doubt. This new identity broadcasts abundance, confidence, possibility, trust. Feel this new broadcast emanating from you. like radio waves, like light. This is your new signal, your new frequency, and the world is already responding to it. This is who you are now, not who you're trying to become, not who you hope to be someday. Who you are right now on this frequency. So go ahead and say it internally. Feel it, know it. I am, and feel it. Not as affirmation, as truth. Because on this frequency, it is truth. The old identity, gone, dissolved, released with love. The new identity, activated, embodied, anchored. This is your new default broadcast, your new baseline, your new reality. Now, we're going to seal this shift, make it permanent. I want you to imagine that there is a golden light surrounding you, protective, sealing. The light is locking in the new frequency, the new identity. The old identity can't come back. The old frequency cannot pull you back. You've shifted tracks. This is permanent. Breathe in this golden light, and as you exhale, feel it sealing around you, creating an energetic boundary that says, "This is who I am now. No going back." Again, breathe in the sealing light, the golden light. Exhale, feeling it all around your new frequency. One more time, deep breath in and seal this shift completely. Good. Now, over the next days or weeks, the old identity might try to reassert itself. All thoughts might arise. Who are you kidding? This isn't really you. Old fears might surface like you cannot maintain this. Old patterns might tempt you back. When that happens, and it will, you don't fight it. You don't resist it. You simply notice. Oh, that's the old frequency trying to broadcast again. And you choose not to tune to it. You remember this moment. You remember this feeling. You remember this identity. and you consciously tune back to this frequency. It gets easier every time. The new frequency gets stronger, the new identity gets more solid, until one day you won't even remember what the old identity felt like. Because this is who you are now, naturally, effortlessly. I want to see yourself 1 month from now. You've been broadcasting this identity for 30 days. What's different in your life? How do people respond to you differently? What opportunities have appeared? What old patterns have dissolved? Now, see yourself 6 months from now. The identity is so integrated you don't even think about it anymore. It's just who you are. What has manifested in your reality? What tracks have you moved to? What version of life are you living? And now see yourself 1 year from now. Looking back at this moment, the moment you shifted identities as the turning point, everything changed from here. Not because you forced it, because you changed the frequency. You changed who you identified as, and reality rearranged to match. This isn't fantasy. This isn't wishful thinking. This is the natural result of frequency shift. You broadcast a new identity, and reality delivers matching experiences. It's physics, it's how this works, and you just activated it now. In a moment, you're going to come back to the room. But you're not coming back as the same person. You are someone completely different, on a completely different frequency, broadcasting a completely different reality into existence. So go ahead and take a moment to slowly come back. Take a deep breath and feel your body and feel how different it feels to be you now. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Feel the surface beneath you. And notice the shift, the lightness, the freedom. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome to your new identity. Welcome to your new life. How do you feel? Different, right? You just did something most people never do in their entire lives. You consciously picked a new identity. You shifted frequencies at a subconscious level. And you're not the same person you were when we started. So now, here what's going to happen over the next few days and weeks. Week 1, reality is going to test you. Old patterns will arise. Old thoughts will surface. The universe is basically asking, did you really shift or are you going back? Your job? Stay in the new frequency. Catch yourself when you slip to the old identity and gently tune back. Week 2 to 4, the external world starts to rearrange. People respond to you differently. Opportunities appear that match your new identity. Old relationships might fall off, new ones might appear. This is normal. You're a different person now. You're on a different track now. Different things exist here. Month 2 to 3, the new identity starts to feel natural. You stop having to consciously choose it. It's becoming who you are. And month 6, you look back at the old identity and can barely remember what that feels like. It's like it was a different person, because it was different frequency, different reality. But you have to maintain the new broadcast. Every time you tell the old story, I used to be someone who, you tune back to that frequency. Every time you identify with a limitation, yeah, I'm still struggling with, you vote for the old identity. Your words matter, your thoughts matter, your self-concept matters. You are who you say you are, not who you used to be. From now on, when someone asks you about yourself, you speak from this new identity. Not I'm trying to be more confident, but I'm confident. Not I'm working on my money stuff, but money flows to me easily. Not future, not aspiration, present, truth. Because On this frequency, it is truth. If this shifted something fundamental in you, hit subscribe. I'm posting content like this every week. Drop a comment with your new identity and claim it. I am someone who. You just changed everything. Enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and be well.